A city in grief tonight, walking side by side to remember Chelsea King, a young lady who has become San Diego's daughter.
Her family at tonight's vigil thanking the community for amazing support and making one last request.
Keep her spirit alive for us.
In the 1 o'clock hour this afternoon, search and rescue crews discovered a body in a shallow grave near the shores of Lake Hodges, believed to be that of 17-year-old Chelsea King. A devastating end to a 6-day search. Tonight, 10 News is working every angle to this story, including a new eyewitness sighting of the suspect the day Chelsea vanished. We begin tonight with 10 News reporter Itika Milanes, where thousands turned out for a candlelight vigil.
What started as a small candlelight vigil set up on Facebook a couple of days ago turned this church parking lot and courtyard into a massive memorial for Chelsea King. The warm glow from this sea of candles at St. Michael's Church lit up the darkness that hung over Poway tonight. Down below, heartbreak as the reality of Chelsea's senseless murder sinks in.
I just thought, this is it, you know. She's not coming back.
Nathan White ran cross-country with Chelsea. He was with the team when he heard her body had been found.
The entire track team, we just broke down.
To the surprise of many, Chelsea's parents and little brother showed up.
One of the nicknames that I've always called my daughter is my angel.
Showing unimaginable grace just 6 hours after their daughter's body was found, the Kings thanked the community for the prayers and the most intense search effort in county history.
I want to thank you. Chelsea wants to thank you. Keep her spirit alive for us.
Loved ones hugged each other a little tighter tonight. Mothers reflected on the agony of it all.
This could have been my children. It could have been me. I run on the trail.
In Poway, Itika Milanes, 10 News.
A team of divers made the discovery not far from the command center and a nearby neighborhood. Now, this map shows you where the body was found, just 10 feet from the waterline of Lake Hodges. It was also close to where search crews found a shoe on Friday and not far from where Chelsea's car was found at the Rancho Bernardo Community Park. Just 15 minutes ago, we learned the medical examiner has moved the body from the scene along the shore of Lake Hodges. 10 News reporter Jennifer Kim joins us live from the command post with the very latest. Jennifer?
Well, Steve, although they have not yet officially identified the body, the sheriff held a news conference earlier today where he said that it's very likely that it is, in fact, Chelsea King. Today's discovery brings an end to the frantic search that began Thursday when Chelsea disappeared during an afternoon run. This is new video 10 News shot just an hour ago of the medical examiner's team at work. The intense 6-day search for Chelsea King came to an end today. This Sky 10 video shows a canopy covering the area where authorities found the body. But for investigators, this is now just the beginning.
It's with great sadness this afternoon that we discovered shortly after 1 o'clock human remains near the water's edge.
Dive teams spotted a woman's body along the shoreline of Lake Hodges in a shallow grave covered in debris.
The body was found in an area shortly or not far from where we had previously discovered a piece of evidence, a shoe.
The sheriff did not comment on how long her body may have been there. They told us just about 2 hours ago they would not comment further on the case. A crime scene investigation is expected to reveal more answers. Meanwhile, this man, John Albert Gardner, linked to her disappearance, remains in solitary confinement in the jail's medical unit. The sheriff says it's so he can't hurt himself and to prevent others from hurting him. Jennifer Kim, 10 News.
We spoke with the King family this morning before they got word that their daughter's body was found. Brent and Kelly King described Chelsea as ambitious and hardworking with a bright future.
She was going to go to a liberal arts school and kind of probably move into literature or journalism or
law. I mean, she's very environmentally
conscious,
active, and so environmental law is something too. She's just got so many
aspirations.
Aspirations, yeah.
The Kings also want people to know that Chelsea was tough. They are confident that the 17-year-old long-distance runner would have fought her attacker with everything she had. Chelsea's parents will be at John Gardner's arraignment downtown tomorrow, where he will face charges of first-degree murder and rape. 10 News will be in the courtroom as well. We will bring you live coverage of the proceedings beginning at 2:30 p.m.
And our coverage continues with 10 News reporter Mitch Blocker, who discovered witnesses who say they saw Gardner on the park trails on the day that Chelsea King disappeared.
When police arrested John Gardner Sunday, those who had seen him before started to remember where. This runner says she saw him on the trail she runs 3 times a week.
He looked at me in the eyes with that blank stare.
Uninterested in the spotlight, only interested in sharing her story, this runner is one of many using the trails around Lake Hodges for some exercise.
I did see somebody coming out of the porta potty that resembled the person who they now have in custody, and then on the same day I did see somebody who resembled him.
On the day that Chelsea King disappeared?
Yes.
She's not the only witness coming forward. Robin Martin told us earlier today he's been tremendously troubled by the image he keeps seeing on the news, because it's of a man he says he saw watching women jogging in Rancho Bernardo a few months ago.
Yeah, that guy was on a mission. He was definitely on a mission that morning.
That morning, he says he saw John Gardner. The sheriff's office has also confirmed that another eyewitness, a woman who was assaulted along one of the lake's trails, has picked Gardner out of a police lineup, identifying him as the man who did it.
Something like this does rob the whole community of their sense of security. A tragedy like that comes uninvited to a peaceful community, and it's tainted. It will never be the same.
Chelsea King's picture is still plastered all over the trails she ran less than a week ago. Those trails, though, are closed down. Police won't let anyone through because they say this is still an active crime scene. In Rancho Bernardo tonight, I'm Mitch Blocker, 10 News.
Recapping tonight's new development, thousands of people turned out this evening for a candlelight vigil in honor of Chelsea King. Her father spoke at tonight's gathering and thanked everyone for their determination to bring her home. Tomorrow, the prime suspect, John Gardner, will be arraigned on charges of first-degree murder and rape. And 10 News will have live coverage of that beginning at 2:30. Our comprehensive coverage of this murder investigation will continue in just 6 minutes. With the evidence, prosecutors are expected to reveal tomorrow to keep John Gardner behind bars.
Another look tonight, high above Chelsea King's Vigil, a heartbreaking end for all holding out hope. But it didn't stop thousands of San Diegans from gathering to remember the young lady loved by so many. As we've been reporting, this man, John Albert Gardner, will be in court tomorrow. That's when he'll formally face charges of first-degree murder and rape in the Chelsea King case. Gretchen Von Helms is a defense attorney who we've turned to throughout this investigation. So give us an idea, Gretchen, first of all, what's going to happen in this arraignment tomorrow?
Well, essentially what happens, this is the very beginning. This is the coin toss, if you will, in a football game. So criminal cases proceed under certain rules. You can't dribble the football. That just doesn't happen. So there's certain rules that have to be followed. And this is the first stage of it, which is the arraignment. And at that point, someone who's accused of a crime is told, these are what the charges are that you are facing. They'll give a little summary of what the evidence is that links this particular person to this particular crime.
You say that, so what type of evidence will be presented in this case tomorrow?
They'll give just an overview. Now, they don't have to have proof beyond a reasonable doubt at this stage. They're just going to give a quick overview of why the bail should be set. So they'll say what they have, essentially, in a summary. They'll say if there's any forensic evidence that ties them to, if there's any DNA, they might mention that. They might mention where he was arrested, that he was covered in mud, other clues, maybe hair or fiber clues that link him to the young woman in question.
His first case years ago where he was accused with a 13-year-old, he was able to plea on that deal. What are the chances of that happening with this case?
Very remote. They do not, this district attorney's office does not plea bargain with people accused of murder.
Gretchen, thank you for your time. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you very much.
And our 10 News crews are set up outside the courthouse right now to bring you the live coverage of tomorrow's arraignment for John Gardner. We will be there as he answers to charges of murder at 2:30, and we'll carry the arraignment on 10news.com.
Monitoring sex offenders is a difficult job, and budget cuts are making it even tougher. There are more than 4,000 registered sex offenders in the county and only 13 people on the task force that monitors them. One local law enforcement agency dropped out due to budget constraints. Others are committing their officers only part-time now.